So YQ is a wrapper of the JQ library for JSON to allow us to filter YAML in various ways. So just like JQ, this is specifically for YQ, and it is super awesome. The thing is, I believe that it can also output to JSON. So notice here it's taking in a YAML file, and then you can say, hey, output this to JSON. Now, YQ is not a cloud-specific thing. It's just a very useful tool that I think that you should know. As working in the cloud, you're often working with JSON or YAML files, so we should know these very common tools. YQ is useful when you need to transform YAML data from one structure to another. It uses the same JQ language to filter information. YQ has YAML-specific utilities. It is a good tool to validate how an input YAML is interpreted. It is also a great tool to see the JSON equivalent of your YAML file. So you might have a YAML file and need to quickly convert it to JSON, and so this would be a tool that you could use to install it. You can install it via code directly from GitHub. If you're using a package manager, most of them have it. So like here we have brew install YQ, snap install YQ. I would also think that if you're using like apt-get install, it probably works there as well. Let's take a look at some common or notable flag features. So one thing is you can print out the output with colors and do pretty print. So to make, let's say you have a YAML file, you just want to see it printed out in a nicer format, you can do that. You can take JSON as an input and produce JSON as an output. So even if you are working with JSON, you can work with it in both directions. You can output to a CSV or a TSV, so that's really useful when you have a YAML file. You can also take XML input and produce JSON output. You can process front matter from YAML. So front matter is a special syntax that is used mostly for static websites. So it's interesting that it can process that. It can split multi-document YAML files into several files. And it has shell completion that can be turned on for easier use. It can control outputted space tab size. I mean, you really should keep it at 2, but it can do that. So a lot of cool functionality that you get when using YQ. There are generally 3 ways that you can input a file into YQ: just the file name, the filter along with the file name, or you can pipe the input from another bash command. So just matching these up because my graphics showed up in the wrong order, but here just directly there, or you filter along the way, or you can pipe it into it. Piping is a common use case when you get JSON output JSON from another program. Loading a YAML file is common if there is a configuration file part of an application codebase you need to filter. And YQ appears to have an embedded version of JQ. So when you install YQ, you don't have to go ahead and install JQ separately. So hopefully that has encouraged you to go take a look at YQ as a extremely useful tool to add to your DevOps toolkit.